JustGeorgeMedia.com with the No Book Cookbook. Just George and Nicole in the kitchen today doing spaghetti and meatballs. Bring your 1 pound of beef up to room temperature. Protein always at room temperature before you cook. 28 ounces of crushed tomato, 15 ounces of tomato sauce to make the most amazing marinara. Stick with us on this as you're going to need thyme, oregano, basil, some rosemary crushed, and a smoked paprika, garlic, and salt. Oil, beef broth, and let's get started. Here we go with our garlic. Basil. Now basil is a 1-to-1 with basil and oregano, and then it's a 2-to-1 with basil, oregano, and thyme. So it's half the time because it's only to bring those flavors together. Salt, be very careful with the salt, and the peppers, again, the same concept as thyme. It's going to bring those flavors together. Stir in, give it about 10 minutes on a nice heat. Do not boil. Taste and add what you want. This is 1 pound of hamburger brought to room temperature. That is garlic, oregano, basil, thyme, salt, black pepper, crushed rosemary, and just a smidgen of the smoked paprika. We're going to mix that up with our hands, and then we'll be making balls out of that. Get your frying pan nice and hot. 1 tablespoon of oil. That's all you're going to need. Get your hands down and dirty into that meat. Mix it up good with all those spices, and then roll into approximately a 1-inch ball. As you can see, those are going to be lovely big spaghetti and meatballs. Our pan is nice and hot. Be laying those in an order which you know to flip as they caramelize. So basically, we're going to do clockwise. We want to caramelize every side we can before we sauce and bake those with a little bit of cheese. Nice hot pan, hear that sizzle. Again, be very patient with your beef. You want that nice, beautiful caramelization on the bottom before you turn. We're still probably a minute to a minute and a half at least before our very first flip. Doesn't that sound lovely? That nice hot pan, getting into that grease, that burger, really pulling out. Look at the beautiful caramelization. Let me go ahead, look at that caramelization. That's exactly what you're looking for. You're going to flip and you're going to leave it on the other side for just about as long as you left it on the first side. Just that the pan didn't work. Right, look at the caramelization on that. That is exactly what we want. It's probably about a medium cook throughout that meatball. You can still see a bunch of pink and juice coming out of that. What we're going to do is we're going to put that into a nice pie tin. We're going to throw some sauce and some cheese, and we're going to bake it. And that will bring the temperature exactly where we want it while still keeping it nice, tender, and juicy. So in front of you, we have laid those balls on a few paper towels to get a little bit of that grease off. Now we're saucing our meatballs. And on top of that is going to go a mixture of shredded Parmesan, shredded whole milk mozzarella. Make sure to sauce your pie tin with your meatballs very thoroughly. You want everything covered in sauce. Grab your whole milk, shredded mozzarella, grab your shredded Parmesan. Now it's a 10-minute cook time of about 350. That's going to finish the cook on our meatballs. Because keep in mind, all we did was caramelize. We left them a little raw in the center. And we're ready to put them in the oven. It's the same cook time as our noodles. Perfect timing. Remember, 1 inch feeds 2 people. We like to break them in half. It's an 8-minute cook time on boil. Look at that beautiful color on those meatballs. It's exactly what we want. That sauce is nice and hot. The meatballs have finished their cook. The cheese, great. Great caramelization. The pasta's in a strainer. Our garlic bread is just about done. We're ready to serve. It's time to plate. It's time to serve. Pasta, meatballs, sauce, garlic bread. Beautiful. Time to feast. It's time to plate. It's time to serve. Pasta, meatballs, sauce, and garlic bread. Spaghetti and meatballs for two. Done.